All right, we are back from our 2 course weeks this month, and I am about to get back to regular Q work, and I thought that I would bring you guys along. We're going to take one off the top here. Top one in the Rush Data Queue. This is an iPhone 6 Plus here for data recovery, and the note said that it was water damage, so this should be just a typical what we typically see for wet iPhone data recovery. This is the stuff that the Apple support community forums tell you is impossible, that if you get your phone wet, there's nothing you can do and that your data is gone forever. So maybe they're right, we'll see. We're gonna take a shot at getting this board to turn on again and get access to those precious memories. So let's see what we can do. You can see me working down here, and I've got my hand camera working so that you guys can follow along. And I'm going to start by taking this board out so that we can give it a look. I can see that the water damage sticker is red, so it does look like it's a water damaged phone. I can see some marks of water on the back of the LCD. So we'll see. It's always what I really like about iPhone motherboard repair is that each phone is a new case, and you never know. It might be something really straightforward, or it might be something that takes days and days and turns into something really complex. It's always a surprise. And each one is a little project that can fit in the palm of your hand. Now this one's a little bit odd because it's got a screw hanging out up here. Let's see, how do I switch? So under the microscope, there is a rusty screw hanging out here. He doesn't live there. What are you doing there, buddy? I just took out that one over there, and he was just hanging out. That's really odd because I don't see any missing screws. So I wonder how that guy came to be there. Long time no see Chris. That's pretty funny, says Chris Long. Let's see, sometimes the hand camera likes to go to sleep. Let's see if it went to sleep. It complains a lot. I gotta work on getting him with the program. There we go. All right, it looks like we've got some folks joining us in live stream. iPad rehab, you know, the work you do is nefarious. Apple support community told me so. Yes, well, I wouldn't know since I am banned from Apple support community. I am not allowed to go tell people that their precious memories may in fact be recoverable. We can't have that. And we had a lady come in here today with a classic iPad 2, which was detected by iTunes with no image, never been opened. So that is the world's easiest repair. It means that the LCD connector has gotten a little loose. The old iPad 2s have a pretty loose metal on metal connection at the LCD connector that easily just gets wiggled out a millimeter and just needs what we call percussive maintenance, which means a good hard slap on the back and all will be well. So Christy got to do her first percussive maintenance, and of course we don't charge for that, and everybody loves it. It's always makes them happy to see their iPad come back to life with nothing more than a well-placed slap on the back. All right, so we're gonna take off these connectors and take a look at the board under the microscope. Let's get this off, and we got one more screw. All right. Oh boy, for mature audiences. What? Does my channel say mature audiences? I'm not surprised. That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. Hey Jessa, just watching your older streams for the past 7 hours. What were we talking about? I think it's always funny when people comment on ancient videos, and I have absolutely no idea what was in the video anymore, or even if we still do things that same way or not. All right. Anybody else got a little black line to the center right of the video? I don't see that on my screen, so don't know. All right. That's what she said, loose slot. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and look at this under the microscope first. So let's flip it over and see what we have, so you guys can look along with me for the first time. And let's look for water. So there's a little bit of water there. We'll take off this sticker. See some pretty typical water damage around the connector area. Let's look to see. We've got water in the bottom half of the phone. We can see some water here at the dock connector, and lots of water under this shield. We'll get out. We will try not to mess up my favorite green Dumont tweezers. I know everybody complains that my Dumont tweezers, ooh, that looks like a really bad cap there. My Dumont tweezers link in the video description for all of our recommended equipment hasn't been working for a while. And what I'm doing is I've ordered a bunch of the Dumont tweezers. I like the green ones, but they are very heat sensitive, so they tend to get wrecked up pretty quickly. I love my blue ones, but they're magnetic. They're very strong though. But both of them are very fine point and absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna try some of the ones in the same size. This is size 5 Dumont tweezers. And I'm gonna try some with the titanium alloy and some that have another alloy called Dumo Star to see if we can get a perfect fit. So that audio IC has definitely seen some better days. So because we see water in the bottom and the top half of the phone, we are going to have to take off the shields and give this thing a bath. So that'll be step 1 for us. So we're gonna take off these shields. Let's see if we can wake the camera up again. Wake it up. Wake it up. There we go. So now you can watch us take off the shields on this board. I do this with full heat, full air, to just kind of get them off as fast as possible, letting gravity do the work. There we go. So, news of the day, horrible tragedy in Las Vegas last night, which is going to spark a undoubtedly giant political debate and giant debate on gun control in the United States. As it should, I guess. Nobody knows what possessed this guy to go randomly shoot up a bunch of strangers and kill 50 or 60 people for no reason. Alright, and with these, a lot of times you can kind of get buy one, get one free on the back shield here. And that's the case today. Alright, so we'll look back under the microscope. Jess has Lewis been up to anything besides trolling you on his blog posts on his website? Lewis and I are both getting new websites. He and I have both hired web designers, and we were both sharing our, kind of first drafts. My first draft was a little too Fiverr.com with the icons, but I like the overall flow, and I really like the team that we're working with. I think they're really responsive. They're a local web design company. His was pretty bad. So he's going to have to decide whether or not to just kind of take a loss on the deposit and go with somebody else. I mean, I think it's really unforgivable when somebody, you paid a lot of money for web design, and that they're like, hey, put your eyes on this, and it said login board repair instead of logic board repair. So so that's the deal with that. Lewis has been enjoying life with the new lady in his life, and he has been doing a lot more travel and fun stuff, so that is fantastic for him. All right, so we are going to go give this thing a bath and maybe look at a second board while we wait for that. So this is going to Ultrasonic, and I will be right back. All right, let's look at another board. That phone needs a bath. Yes, it does. All right, let's see if there's actually, this doesn't feel heavy enough for a phone. What is this? This is just a box. All right, so I've got a note here on another board here in my rush queue. Looks like this one is board only. Hopefully that doesn't mean horrible prior repair attempt. Let's see. This one is from Ocean Avenue. That sounds like saltwater. Water damage data recovery. All right, let's take a look at this one. We'll take the sticker off so we can see. I saw his guide on hot air stations, and I thought it was a BS review. Why did you think it was a BS review? I mean, honestly, we've been the thing that's BS about it is the stupid quick company. I sent them. We've been recommending, hey, the Quick is really just for the price. It is a no-brainer. I don't know about safety. I don't know about longevity, but for performance-wise, it does great. And it's hundreds of dollars cheaper than your other options. So it's a fantastic option. So we sent a message to Quick in China saying, hey, we want to start selling these to students, and then maybe also on the iPad Rehab Supply site. And they were like, okay, sure. We don't have any in the U.S. right now. They're on the way from China. We'll get back to you. And then I didn't hear from them. And then Lewis comes along. He's going to start selling Quick, and they instantly fill his order. Maddening. And so then I sent a message back. Oh, they started emailing me inappropriately on some, they copied me on some other company's quote, which is totally uncool. So I'm getting all of these emails that are irrelevant for some other company's quote for Quick stuff. So I'm like, hey, two things. I don't know these people. Take me off of their email list. And hey, whatever happened to the quote that we asked you for, because it sounds like you have just filled a quote for Lewis. And so they were like, can't understand what I'm saying. And eventually they figured that out. And then they were like, we want to sell the 220 volt as well as the 110, since we have international students here. And I'm going to take these shields off as well. And of course, I think I'm not going to sell it without the bent nozzles. I think the bent nozzles are essential. So we're not going to sell it at all until we can get the bent nozzles in stock. That's going to take a long time. And so then they finally they're like, okay, yeah, we can ship you some from our U.S. warehouse. And then they were like, well, it looks like someone else has just placed an order from your address, meaning the same state, New York, since both Lewis and I are in New York. So, we're just going to cancel your order because it looks like it's already been filled. So those guys are really driving me crazy. But yeah, the Quick's a good station. We're going to replace all of these sort of older analog stations. We'll probably sell those so that at the course there's more consistency between stations if they're all the same brand. So we're going to do that. So the BS review is that he didn't read the instructions on the Hako, but he did read the instructions on the Quick. Well, when I first set up the Quick, the first Quick that I bought, and this was I don't know, a year ago, I was too dumb to realize that the one that I had ordered from China was 220. And so I plug it in with an adapter to 110, and it's like so weak. This doesn't seem right at all. This does nothing. I didn't read the instructions either, and oh geez, not that. Let's see this, and let's click over here. And it was then I had to go buy the step down transformer, so that was kind of annoying. All right, so let's look at this second board. This is iPhone 6. That looks like it has been in a litter box for at least 6 months. Whoa, that's a lot of corrosion. That's a lot of corrosion. And sand. I think this one was being used to do some kind of maybe geocaching for pirate treasure at the beach. It looks like they threw it in the ocean and then it washed up on the sand, and then spent a couple weeks buried in the sand before they dug it up. That's some serious sand. Look at that sand damage. Wow. That's a lot of sand. Let's see how the Crest can do with sand damage phone. Burn up backlight. A lot of sand. I see a lot of sand. Wow. That's a lot of sand. All right, let's go swap them. Okay. Let's do a switcheroo on these boards. Okay, this one is out of Ultrasonic, and it has had a nice bath in the Crest, and I just then cleaned it with a brush in 99% isopropyl alcohol so we can take a look at it again. For the money Hako is asking, the least they can do is include nozzles. The least they can do is include nozzles. Well, I think that's just, you know, kind of a where this stuff is made and who's paying the people that make it. And you kind of, I mean, to some degree, you get what you pay for. I mean, there is a really staggering price difference, and in general, there's going to be a reason. So far, we don't know what that reason is, but you would predict some kind of inferior build quality, but so far, the Quick has, we've been using a Quick at one of the student stations for months, and it works pretty well. So we're happy with that, and I think that it's definitely worth it. It's a great kind of introductory station as a way to get into microsoldering without having to spend a whole lot of money, so it's fantastic. All right, so we're doing some more exam here. We can see some VCC main caps look bad around the baseband power management chip. We've got our same looking bad cap. This is on the 1V8 rail. So let's do a quick reading on that rail to see if we can make this a little darker. There we go. Let's do a quick reading on that. And let's see. The review was fair as delivered. Sandblasting guy came in with his phone 3 months ago, and it looked just like this. I'm talking about Lewis's review. I didn't watch Lewis's review, So I don't know. If I was in the market for new hot air, I'd look at the Quick for sure. I'm just pointing out some inconsistencies in apples to oranges comparisons. Yes. I think that the whatever Lewis said in his review of the Hako, which I didn't watch, but still. All right, our 1V8 reading is normal at 0.320, so we'll move on. And this looks like a bad cap here. And that, I think, is on VCC main. So we're going to check our VCC main power rail in diode mode. Diode mode, I think I'm going to do a video on why we use diode mode. And this is a great example, because if we were trying to detect a short in continuity mode, so let's click over so that you can see the multimeter here. Wake up, camera, you can do it. All right, so here's the multimeter. Ready? Now, in continuity mode, if I just probe two sides of a VCC main cap, I guess, all right, here we go. It's right on the border of where it would not beep. So I guess I would detect this short in continuity mode, but it's right on the border because it's not full short to ground. Let's go to diode mode. The normal diode mode resistance on this line is 0.33-ish. And look at ours. It's about 0.1, 0.096. So that is low, but it's not zero. It's not 0 ohms to ground. So this is a partial short on VCC main. So let's see. So everybody seems to like the Quick. Cat litter is the new rice for drying, upgraded with sand. Feel better for cats. Yes. All right, so then I've used Quick and used JBC for years in my workplace, which JBC is supposed to be the most expensive, best hot air ever, and I love the Quick more, so yeah. I love the JBC. The Quick is fine. I mean, it's really just what can kind of do the job for you. So let's go back to the microscope, and we're going to kick off the island, the ugliest looking VCC main caps, because our goal is to not put any electricity in this phone until we get our VCC main power rail back up to normal resistance. So we'll kick off the kind of typical bad actors here, like this one. Get out of here. There you go. And let's look back to see, did that do anything? And now our diode mode reading is 0.101, so we still have work to do. So we're going to go through here, and I think audio IC could be problematic for VCC main as I look around. I'm going to take this cap, which I'm not 100% sure is on VCC main, but it probably is, and the one next to it. Pretty sure these two are. Could be another set of two. That's just kind of from memory. All right, there we go. So let's go back and see if that did anything. I love the styling of the Quick. It's just really easy to hold in your hand. And we're still at 0.101, 102 diode mode reading. So we're going to keep on keeping on. I see two really ugly looking VCC main caps right there. So we're going to knock off those dudes. And we're just going to kind of do this quick and dirty voting off the ugliest caps on the board before we start really insulting the board with current. I'm going to go ahead and take off audio IC as well on the basis of its physical appearance. So one of the things that I like to notice when I'm short hunting is whether or not I get a change in resistance with heat. So right now our resistance is 0.101. I know when I put heat on the board that of course resistance is going to go down just because heat makes things makes resistance go down. But after the board cools down, then I want to know, did I really dramatically get a change in my reading? If so, that kind of tells me that I'm looking for a chip rather than looking for a cap. Because when you put heat on a board with corrosion under it, then you kind of stir the pot a little bit on the corrosion that ultrasonic really can't address under the chips. So let's go ahead and take off this audio IC and we'll see if we get better or worse. Audio IC also is a common source of shorts on a couple of different power rails, especially if the phone was playing audio, if it was hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker, for example, when it went into the water. Then that kind of draws water to the audio IC and causes problems if it was hot when it hit water. So a lot of times getting that history can really help you. There's so many tiny little things that really make a difference. So if you knew I was playing music and then I dropped my phone in the water, that is going to change the picture of your repair. What a noob. That was pretty horrible. Alright. The JVC and Hakos are more industrial. That's the reason for the crappy interfaces and the slave temperature key. We did have a guy at the course, JC, who is an IPC certified soldering technician who makes boards for Lockheed Martin and NASA, and he taught us a lot about what it is actually like to work with, you know, a continuous monitor for ESD for the NASA boards, and what is and isn't acceptable for IPC certified soldering. And it was really interesting to talk to him about their process and how they kind of put stuff on boards. So he was really interesting. As I asked him, like, so is it like super controlled, like you guys aren't allowed to change the temperature? And he said no, that it is still kind of an art, that they all are kind of free, and they do. Each technician does things in a little bit of a different way. Okay, so now let's take a reading, and also that the IPC, you know, pass-fail was sort of up for debate. All right, so now our diode mode reading has gone up. Let's take a look at that on the multimeter. And let's see. All right, so now you can see the multimeter. We're going to go back and we're going to check on VCC main diode mode reading. Now this board is warm, so this number will continue to climb. But now we're at 0.214, 216, 217, and that's still climbing up. So that has a chance. It still seems a little bit low. So we'll keep looking around our VCC main line, but we may have brought it back up to where it will actually boot. But let's keep looking around. iPad rehab, in your opinion, what's worse? The fake Microsoft support call scammers or official Apple support? Definitely official Apple support. I mean, a Microsoft scammer is a criminal. I expect criminals to do things that are criminal. I expect a company that has customers that it's in their best interest to keep their customers happy and to provide a product and a warranty and support. I don't expect them to act like criminals. So yeah, I think that what's going on with Apple support community forums is far worse than a bunch of criminals calling up old ladies and saying, please bro, let me log into your computer and do a bunch of shit to it. All right, so we've got some ugly looking stuff around the baseband PMIC. Just had to reball one of these earlier today. So we've got a couple of ugly looking caps. Now these guys don't really like to come off as nicely with my 5 o'clock flick method. Let's look over here. Let's peek under there and see if we see a ton of corrosion. And I do. I see some rust. So we got to look under there. We've got some corrosion around this. This can also be this is another VCC main chip, and he tends to get a lot of bad stuff going on with him. And then up here, we may have a problem backlight drivers, which I think are going to look pretty ugly. Yeah, you can see corrosion on the side of those guys. So we still have a lot of ugliness on our main power rail, but let's go back now that the board has cooled down a little bit and see how we're doing. Wake up, camera. We want to take a diode mode reading. All right, I deal with so many customers that scammed with a Microsoft support thing. Yeah, that, you know, to some degree, I think that is, you know, come on. All right, so we're at 0.232. That is still too low to boot this phone. Our target is to get up to 0.33 something close to that. So let's go do a little work around the baseband PMIC area. Now, baseband PMIC is required for update in the 6 Plus, but it is not required for boot. So let's see if we can get away with just kind of taking off some of these bad caps around here. Is that a woe in front of the microscope camera? I don't know what you're talking about. Over here for you guys? I don't know what you're talking about. A wire. This is the way the camera's plugged in. They're not magic. They need to have a power source. Oh, there's like a black mark in the screen. That's probably green screen stuff, is it? Let's poke around on that. Yeah, there is something maybe is on the lens. Don't know what that is. Either that or it's part of this green screen. But I see what you mean now. So we're going to take off the ugly looking main caps around here and see what that does for good old VCC main. And we learned from our Jenga phone that we can take off 30 or 40 components off of VCC main and a phone will still boot for data. Now these guys are all VCC main caps, and we can see corrosion coming out from under the baseband power management chip here. So hopefully we're not making things worse under that chip right now. But we may be. We may be. Maybe we're making it better. Don't know. Looks like something hanging down in front of the screen. Is there anything back here? I don't think so. Usually if it's a green screen thing, it will kind of wiggle around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to let that cool while I grab that other board out of Ultrasonic, and we'll take a reading. Alright, sand board is done. And we'll let that dry off and then take a look at it. Alright, sand board back over there. Okay. See, it's where the split in the screen is. So let's find out. Let's do this. Let's see what happens if we say, hey, microscope, where are you, microscope? Microscope camera. Move around. Oh, look at that. It is kind of green screeny. Is there something there? Nope. Not that I'm going to be able to pick. All right, so we're going to have to just let that be how it is. Yep, it's not on the camera. It's somewhere on the screen. Fluttered as I walked by. All right, come on. Oh, there's nothing there. Ghosts! It's ghosts! It's a wormhole! Sucking me in. All right. It's in front of the camera. Maybe. Hello. All right, we're gonna not waste time on that. So everybody with OCD can click over and watch. Oh my God! I started watching with the kids. This guy, LA Beast. Have you seen his shit? This guy's got like something like 2 or 3 million subscribers. And what he does is he eats crazy shit. Like the first one that I watched was, what happens if a human being drinks a gallon of sour milk that sat outside for 2 weeks in the sun? Oh my God. And he drank the whole thing and then of course threw it up. Super fun. And then he's got a whole bunch of other videos where he also similarly eats disgusting things and then throws them up. All right, so we're still at 0.235. So that means we got to keep going on a hunt. So our problem may very well be under our baseband power management, but we don't know that for sure. We're going to first just take off everything ugly on here that really didn't really have any business being on our board. All right. So we are going to take off ugly VCC main stuff, and then if we still can't resolve our short circuit, then we will try to find it another way with heat. Wow, that all came off. Damn. Let's see how ugly those were. Yeah, that was pretty ugly. And this coil was also pretty ugly. All right, we'll stick that over there. See the magnetic tweezers? They just love magnetic-y things like coils. Uh-oh, I should have taken that off. There we go. All right. Wow, that was pretty rusty. And now we're going to turn our sights to the evil Q-Poet chip. But first, let's check to see if that was the majority of our problem or not. So we're at about the same 0.220. There was another cap where you removed 3 ones that looked corroded. Yes, him eating a 5-pound bag of sugar-free gummy bears. That was the other one we watched. Oh my God, just who would do that to themselves? Oh my God, I don't know. All right, let's get in this area and do a little operating. Okay, let's take off that chip. And let's see. I put tip X on my screen. Now the mark is white. All right, let's get in here and grab old Q-Poet chip off. Get out of here. Alright, how bad does that look under there? Doesn't look too bad. Sorry, you were probably falsely accused, bro. Alright. Now, around here, I might have to look up. I'm not sure I can remember exactly. Pretty sure main, and then one of these guys is main. I don't think that guy is main, but I'm not sure. But I don't think so. Alright, we'll leave that alone for now. Alright, back up on the top side of the board. We have chestnut could give us a problem, and then definitely these backlight drivers. So let's take off backlight driver since we don't need backlight for data. So we will eliminate variables. Alright. I I do go to training, always on YouTube, and I have already have complete tool except for the box for flashing. I work as a hardware debugger. Yep, it's a wire. I went back. It appeared when you reached across to the hot air station. Oh, is it this? Oh, yeah, okay. It's a micro pencil. Yay! It's a micro pencil. There you go. Mystery solved. And now let's get those backlight drivers out. Good old micro pencil. No wormhole, just a micro pencil. Whoa, look at that backlight driver. That looks like shit. Ew. I do kind of feel like at least 50% of this job is kind of like examining snot. It's almost like I'm a professional booger examiner. I'm hunting for boogers. Alright, that one looks good enough that I think I'm going to stick him back on. If I stick him back on and we get half backlight, then at least we'll be able to see the screen. There you go. Oh, he got a little solder blob. That's not cool. You can't do that, boss. Alright. Now, let's look in here and see what was actually corroded. Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head which one of these guys is the VCC main ball under backlight driver on here. So we'll just have to see. Alright, let's clear this off. How's Underdog? Underdog is alive and well, hanging out on the back of the sofa, undoubtedly, at home, like he always does. Alright. Now everybody with OCD doesn't have to go watch LA Beast, drink sour milk, or eat a cactus. That was the last one. I didn't actually watch that one, but eat a cactus. I mean, it is kind of, how do you one-up some of this stuff? If you've already consumed a 5-pound bag of sugar-free gummy bears where the warning on it says, like, you know, don't eat more than like 10 or 15 of these things unless you want to shit your brains out. So we ate a 5-pound bag of those. And after you've already consumed an entire gallon of milk that sat outside for 2.5 weeks and was pretty much cottage cheese, how do you top that? What do you do next? What is your encore? I asked the kids. They were like, obviously there's only one thing to do after that, which is eat poop. Yeah, I can see that. All right, so with backlight driver gone, which definitely had corrosion, let's go check on our diode mode reading. Let's see what it is. All right, where are my leads? Okay, let's see. Do we have more work to do to get VCC main back up to normal resistance? Came up a little. We're at 264. That is probably not quite enough. All right, so for me, I think Chestnut's a possibility, but I'd have to definitely put him back. But, oh, let's knock this dude out of here. You're not supposed to be there, Holmes. Get out. Oh, Chestnut. Yeah, it's probably going to be, we should probably take Chestnut before baseband PMIC. All right. He already did the Mentos and Coke thing, pretty sure. Pretty sure. All right, since we saw so much corrosion under backlight driver, I think that even though we're going to need to have a Chestnut in order to have image, we need to take him off. All right. Hi, Jessa. Would you ever consider a short locator? It would make your job so much easier. What do you mean a short locator? What are you talking about? What kind of short locator would work on boards with this scale, with these resistances? We have messed around with that a few times, and honestly, the noise in the system made made anything that we tried pretty much useless. There we go. Look at that corrosion. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We see corrosion under chestnut. All right, let's clean that up. I really don't mind this approach because, you know, like this chip here. Let's say that we had cleared our VCC main short and then we prompted to boot. With that, that's not cool. You know, it's kind of like you need to, you can make a board, you can ruin a board by putting electricity through really horrible corrosion like this. When things are bridged together and you're going to send a voltage down the wrong line, it's really kind of better to just get all the important stuff. If there's any evidence that you're going to have a problem, to take care of that before you put electricity in the board. It's never fun to get a board like close to recovery and then have it end up being not recoverable. All right. B3 is ground under backlight. All right. Well, what about chestnut? I don't remember in the 6 Plus, and now I don't even remember where the worst of the corrosion was under here. Don't know. Forgot already. I have expunged that data. Okay. I know in the 6S it's one of these pads, that I think, or something. But all right, let's see what our isn't chestnut the touch IC? No. Or the charging chip? Also no. No, it is not. All right, let's see what our diode mode reading is now, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, we're getting close. Let's have you guys take a look and you tell me, is it close enough or no? What do you think? All right, so here's our diode mode reading. We want it to be something like 0.33, 0.34, and it is 0.284. That is really close. It may actually boot with that, but it's, you know, there's still going to be, oh, how far up did it go? If it went to 0.3, I would try it. Show everybody leave your light on, play nicely. 0.287. All right, let's keep on our hunt. Okay, let's see. Can anyone help me with an iPhone 6S totally broken home button? Yes, go to the Apple Store and get yourself a brand new one. Go to the Apple Store, get yourself a brand new home button. It costs you $149, and it comes with a free LCD screen, OEM LCD screen, in fact. So that's definitely a no-brainer right there. Okay. So let's go back to Microscope. Okay, so since we saw a lot of corrosion at backlight driver and here at chestnut, I think we should probably think about, I'm pretty sure strobe and Mesa chip here are both on VCC main, but I'm gonna check. Let's just check. Let's check. So I'm gonna look over here on ZXW and check. Why don't you come over with me? Let's check. All right, so we'll click VCC main on 6 Plus and see where those are. Hey, I was right on the VCC main pad on chestnut. All right, so these two guys, strobe driver, we don't need for data, and we don't need Mesa chip either. So let's go ahead and take those off in case, especially this one, in case we had a lot of water right there, a lot of heat, and that is where our corrosion is. So we will go back to here and take those suckers off. Why not? All right. Jessa, have you thought about providing an online class? Sure, I've thought about it. There's no way I can close up shop for 1 week, unfortunately. Well, there is no way I can teach online, so that is a big mismatch. All right, and it's funny when we do the course, then once the students kind of experience the course, then it becomes obvious why we don't do online training. That's not really feasible. And then they're all like, yeah, of course not. It's funny. It's the tiny little things that you're doing that in person we can see and notice. I think like someone said, Deborah, she said it's storytelling. She's like the content is easy to follow and easy to understand because it's told like a storyteller. And it just doesn't, there's not enough corrosion under there. Boo, let's just take off this guy. I don't think he's on main, but he's too ugly for the board. Alright. If it's not you, it's going to be the stupid baseband power management chip then. Wasn't you. Falsely accused. Easter egg hunt, fail. We just kicked a big tuft of hay and there was nothing in there. Alright. Let's clean these balls anyway. There'd be no way to tell if the students were performing instructions properly since it's such a hands-on activity. At best, an online class would be selling an ebook. There's no difference between online class and watching YouTube videos. I mean, that's the same. So watch YouTube videos. There. And we do online teaching. It's called YouTube and it's free. All right. Okay. I mean, learning how to do this is all about eliminating variables. All right, there we go. Okay. Let's see if that did anything. I doubt it. Let's see. All right. Call from client. Yes, people continue printing on your laser printer when there is a paper jam. Yeah, I got a call 0.2555657, so we're pretty much in the same place that we were. Of course. All right, looking around, did we miss any little caps that are bad actors around here? Did we miss anybody up here? Did we miss? That guy's still in there, but he looks okay. Did we miss anybody around here or cause any kind of mechanical short? Let's look close before we go nuts. Are you guys talking to each other? Let's just get out of there. Let's eliminate that variable. All right, in here, you are too ugly. And I know you're mean, so get out. Get the fuck out. All right, one of you guys is mean. And you're not that good looking. You are really kind of ugly. All right, what else? But I'm gonna go with baseband PMIC. You are kind of ugly. You are kind of ugly. This is like being in a sorority rush, where you're just sitting here judging people. I'm not sure you guys are supposed to talk to each other. Break it up. There you go. Break it up. No, you're not allowed to do that. All right. That's all battery. Okay. All right, let's check, and then we're gonna go for baseband PMIC, and then we'll have to use heat after that. All right, how about just the theory for online training? How about no? List of failure and solution. Oh my God, that is the exact never happening. That is like the anti-course. That is what we teach people. That is the entire point of the course. There is no failure solution. There's no map. There's no, the people that come to the course that just want to have like a printout of if this, then this. No. It is all about use your fucking brain. No, you have to learn how to diagnose. You have to learn how to make solutions. You have to learn how to read a schematic. You have to learn how to troubleshoot, to understand how things work together. There is no this fault equals this solution. No. If you want to do that, just go join Philippe's forum, man. That's all he does. Have at it. If you want to please bro, go please bro. All right, let's wake this thing up. All right, and let's see, how are we doing VCC main reading? Oh, we're at 0.298. That's a lot. That is a lot. What's that cap? I don't even think a cap goes there. What are you doing there? I don't know you. Yeah. What are you doing just sitting there? Hanging out. Up to no good. 0.298. All right. That's probably worth. Cap there by the Sky Rings chip. You don't like one of these ones over here? That guy? Is he on main? Is he? Let's find out. I don't recognize him as a guy on main. Maybe you're right. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's see, what does the XW say? Here, let's go over. I don't think he's on main though. All right, screen. And over here, you don't like the look of this guy. Yeah, he is not relevant to the problem, so we're gonna leave him alone. We're gonna leave him alone and stick with just the problem. All right, let's see. Let's go back. Let's go back. Here we go. All right, let's check on Stockholm chip though. I don't really see any water there. All right, I think I am going to see if we can get away with data without doing anything else. And if not, we'll continue going. So let's get the camera working. There we go. And let's get some parts. Let's drink some fortifying, delicious Diet Coke. Okay, now we're gonna see what DC power supply. We do expect there to be a little bit of a leak on VCC main, but maybe it will still be enough to hold that battery voltage and let this phone boot. Let's find out. Let's move this back up so we can see. Louise had invitation to German repair family, free bed. He never replied. Fat chance getting Lewis to leave the United States. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You never know though. He might. He's a different man now. All right, let's see. Let's see. So can you guys see over here? It's probably, it looks to me like it might be too difficult to kind of translate that to camera, but we'll see. All right, plugging it in, and I gotta get my cables to stop talking to each other. Plug it in. We have a 0.05 leak on VCC main. Let's prompt to boot and see what it can do. Prompt to boot, and it's going to like 0.18 and kind of hanging out there. Come on, get busy. Try to boot, yo. You can do it. Boot. Come on. I guess there was no point in putting a screen on there with no chestnut. That was silly. So it's just going 0.05 and then it's going to 0.17 and then quitting. All right, that stinks because it's probably going to boot loop then once we get it VCC main back up, which means we're going to then have to kind of update data Zip it with lightning. That'll fix it. All right. Hello, Valentino from the Bahamas. So let's go ahead and take off our baseband PMIC, which is probably where the remnants of our short are, which we might have to replace then if we are going to have to end up trying to update this phone, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get away with it. See, Wayne Taylor wants to come to the course and pay in Bud Light. Not happening. Although I will tell you that one time I was a Bud Light drinker back in grad school, and I won a sweepstakes. True story. I was on a camping trip, stopped to buy some Bud Light, went camping, came home from the camping trip, emptied the cooler, put it back in the fridge. I didn't even notice that one of these cans of Bud Light was kind of like weird. It was like they used to be all red and white kind of color scheme, and then they went to that like light teal blue kind of color scheme. So there was a lot of corrosion under there. Boom, 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 boom. So let's get rid of that. And I ended up, just kind of getting to this can eventually. And then I was drinking it, and then I noticed on the bottom of it was a sticker, like a paper sticker with a number on it, which was like weird. Like, why does this can have a paper sticker on it? So then, only then did I read the can that said, the true summer sweepstakes from Bud Light. Enter to win. You specially marked cans. Blah blah blah. What? And then I read it or entered the number or something like that, and it was like, you have won a trip to Florida to go swim with the dolphins as part of the ultimate summer fun. I thought that was nuts. And it turned out to be true. Turned out to be legit. But you could, instead of going to swim with the dolphins, you could say, how about you send me a check? So they sent me a check for $800, which I gave to my sister so that she could come and visit me. And that was a lot more fun than swimming with the dolphins. That was pretty corroded under there. All right. Okay, now let's see. To hell with it. Buy a new phone. Take a new picture. Fixed. Well, that's one way to just make new memories. Honestly, a lot of these, these data, we recover data constantly, and a lot of it is kind of like the same stuff. It's, somebody's birthday, somebody's amazing sushi, somebody's sunset, that you could kind of just say, we're going to do an alternate service. Just send me the face shots of people in your family, and then we'll just put it on these same pictures and send you back data. It's all the same. Same life, no matter who you are, all the way around the world. All right. And we are at a disappointing 0.286. Boo! Come on, get up there. All right, so that means 287. All right, so that means we are going to have to use some heat to figure out where else we have a VCC main problem, since we've pretty much hit most of this board. So let's think about this for a minute, and let's look around and make sure I'm not missing anything. Otherwise, it's going to have to be, take off caps that are not that ugly and pretty unlikely to actually be problematic, like this one. But we'll do it. And let the board cool down, root around in here. Which one of you guys is VCC main? I'm going to have to look it up now. So let me look that up. You guys are out of focus. There we go. All right, I'll pay whatever you want, just as long as your Utah lady friend does some private tuition. In genetics. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Sarah is pretty convinced that somebody called her at work. Was that you? Tell me if it was. I think she lost a bet on that, actually. All right, that phone is a troublemaker. Yes. All right, what is the team? Jessa, please use for test other AC adapter to be sure. No, that seems pretty classic. Let's see. Okay, so we're caught up. Let's see. Let me check on ZXW what we might have missed. Let's go to screen and let's all head over to ZXW, move down chat, and let's see. Over here, what is a match with our board? So this cap and that is a filter, and where does he go? Same to that chip. There's a little cap there who looks fine. These guys all look fine. That guy looks okay, and that guy looks bad, but he's not on main. All right, let's see. So we've looked at that area. Over here by backlight driver, our backlight, maybe one cap looks kind of bad. Maybe one of them is already gone. I guess I could kick off that one cap. Why not, since we're not going to have backlight anyway. All right, let's get rid of him. Getting rid of a backlight cap. That probably didn't have anything to do with the problem. That's already gone. Those guys look fine. This is a filter that goes back to that chip that's already gone. We didn't really think about up here. Those guys are rarely bad, but those guys. And on this side of the board, let's look. So we have one little dude that is under the shield. Yeah, let's take him off. So let's go back and look at that guy. Microscope. This guy in here, I forgot about him. This little fucker. There you go. Yeah, you're ugly as shit. Get out. How did I forget you? Took your brother, but I forgot about you. I just forgot about you, little bro. Sorry. All right, let's see if that makes any difference. How close are we to 0.34? 0.31. Whoa, yeah, here we go. 0.31. That's pretty good. Let's keep looking around though. Let's see, did we miss anybody else? So we did those guys. That guy's fine. Those guys are gone. Stockholm is still around, which we might as well take off even though it doesn't really look very wet around there. But what I really want to know are these guys. So in the 6S, which one of you guys are on main? So it's these two bottom ones and this one. So let's look over there. So it is these two guys and this bottom one, which we'll get rid of him. All right, and let's look back and see what else. These guys, this chip never goes bad. And we already got him. And I think we already got anybody down there. This guy I forgot about, but I don't think he is ever giving me trouble. Probably not worth it. And I think that is everything over there. Let's look back at baseband PMIC. All of this stuff is no stuff. So let's look back at baseband PMIC area, since there was a shit ton of corrosion under there. So we still have this cap and that cap on our board. And those guys look fine. These guys are gone. This guy is pretty ugly, but he's still present. That guy is pretty ugly. And then up here at Tigris. We're gonna leave Tigris, I guess Tigris would be the next thing. In fact, Tigris is a pretty good candidate. Let's look. Because Tigris is required for boot, and we can see that there was water ding ding around Tigris. So that kind of makes Tigris suspect underneath. So let's see. How are we doing now that the board is cooled down? And then we'll go after Tigris and then put back Chestnut and Tigris and see if we can get her to boot. All right, 0.311. So a phone should boot with 0.311. So since this one really didn't seem to do very much when prompted to boot just a little bit ago, we are gonna change Tigris and maybe put back one Chestnut. All right, so let's go ahead and change out Tigris and see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, then we'll look at this other one. How's TriStar? Don't know. All right, watching this is so painful. Is it? All right, check LDO cam. Yep, let's see. What is going on? We are recovering data. We're gonna recover some data. Tom Petty. Uh-oh. I don't see very much corrosion coming out from here, but it has to be done. Nope, he was beautiful. Oh no, he's not. He's got a shit stain. He has shit himself. Boom. Right there. Not cool, you little pants shitter thing. Alright, let's get on another Tigris and see if we can get this thing to boot. Alright, what is going on? We are hunting down a partial short on VCC main on a heavily damaged phone from stem to stern. And we're going to find it and make this phone great again. Okay, let's see if I have to go on a hunt for tigresses or if there's one left in this strip. Yay! I got one left in this strip. Hooray! Huzzah! Eureka! Alright, let's just get rid of the worst of the flux under there and get a brand new beautiful Tigris. So what do you guys think of the new iPhone 8 with its Hydra chip? So it's going to be the end of TriStar and we're all going to have to start saying Hydra, except for all the people that just say U2 because fuck being clear. Alright. I still can't believe that Paul Daniels had to call you, Jessa. Yes! Paul Daniels had to call us and inform us that somebody had clicked start streaming, apparently. Probably me. While teaching a class. Since we use the same camera and demo stuff and talk about things. Get back over here. Stop moving away. I'm trying to have that. So somewhere along the way, hit start streaming. Let's give it the imperceptible nudge. Alrighty. Alright, let's let that cool down. All hail Hydra! What bugs me is my iPhone 6S has been in an OtterBox case since I bought the phone. It's scratched under the case around the earpiece. Yeah, well, you know, my phone's got a giant crack in the screen, so things like scratches, you know, it's a phone. That's like the old advice when you have kids that, you know, as soon as you find out that you're having a baby, you should go around and like break all your shit, so at least you have the fun of doing it rather than waiting for your kids to do it. All right. Paul Daniels, who just woke up, and lo and behold, see me being mentioned. Yes, hero Paul Daniels, who saved iPad Rehab from butt streaming for who knows how long, hours and hours and hours, till we all left, till we went to click start stream and hey, look at that, it's already going. Huh? Well, I wonder how long that's been going on. All right, so we gotta let that cool down. Well, let's let that cool down and let's see what's up with the other board. So this is the iPhone 6 from the Sandstorm, new board. We're gonna glance at this while we let that one cool so we can get our final reading on that. Sand is gone. Good job, Crest, on sand removal. Looks really nice. Left a little piece of cotton in there, but other than that, sand is gone. Now we've got a little bit of a bad joint there at the dock. Let's see. That guy looks pretty ugly. And we've got similar VCC main problem right here. In fact, let's just knock him off right now. These are the kinds that you can't really knock off without pulling up the pads, but it doesn't really matter. He can't really be on there. Get off. There you go. Take your pads with you. There you go. And let's see. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And looks pretty bad. Maybe this one's gonna be easy. Let's find out. Let's find out. So we'll go check our main diode mode reading. Wake up, multimeter. Let's all take a look. At least you all had a proper working daily environment. I feel I'll accidentally start streaming while walking around in my underwear. Yeah, well that'd be a good video. You'd probably a lot of people would watch it. We have diode mode reading is 0.001. That's seriously low. How does sand get in a phone? I think it has something to do with beach and salt water. So let's get rid of that guy and hope that that's all that it is. All right, so we got rid of our good old C5202RF. And we're back up to 0.315. Excellent. So let's see if this one can boot. All right, I'm going to grab parts for this and we'll see. I was going to stream, maybe I still will, a really horrible prior repair attempt where all this TriStar stuff is dug up and it is going to have to get a dead turtle TriStar on its back. Chris Long did one of those. And it will undoubtedly be a giant waste of time because I doubt it needed TriStar to begin with. And it is likely just a straight up NAND corruption, which is going to have no path to data. But, you know, you kind of got to rule out all the variables. All right, where is my 6 dock? 6 dock. All right. Let's see what happens with this phone on DC power when we prompt to boot. All right, we've got a little leak, a 0.04 leak. So this is really similar to our other phone a few minutes ago. 0.04 leak, not surprising. And this time, what happens when we ask it to boot? Well, it's doing exactly the same thing, which is not making an image. Of course, that could just be the screen. So it is hanging around at 0.13. Wow, these two phones that we drew out of the deck are pretty much the exact same fault. Interesting, very interesting. I wonder if that means that this is also going to be a Tigris problem. All right, so it's hanging out at 0.03 1, 3, but I do want to check on image there and see why are you not making an image, because you really should try to make an Apple logo, and if not, then we got to look for image problems. Hello strangers, how is everyone? Dead turtle seems like a bad choice since the U10 iPhone 7 button is called turtle. Yes, I know, but that's what makes it so awesome, because I recommended the other day that Ronnie dead turtle his turtle IC, and that was super fun to say, so I'm gonna stick with that. He had an iPhone 7 that needed a turtle swap, and he did his turtle job, and then it was boot looping, which now with iOS 11 on the iPhone 7, it could be, because it doesn't recognize the home button at all. So I said, well, then you got to be sure. You got to dead turtle your turtle. Super fun. All right, let's see. What did you do, Jessa? The green line on the screen is gone. You mean this green line? That one? All right. Let's find our 6. All right, let's see with a different screen. Does it try to make image? If not, then that is a clue. A clue that our DC power supply cables are shitty and not working. All right, now let's prompt it to boot. Prompt to boot. It is making an Apple logo. And it is really, really high. Whoop. Wow, fuck, that's hot. Ah! It burned me. Fucker burned me. Let's find out. Why'd you burn me, mofo? Somebody in here. Let's see. Let's find out. I'm going to punish him. I'm going to punish him with freeze spray for burning me. Whatever it was around here. Actually, let's just check to see if it was the coil, because that backlight looks like shit. Fucker, burn my finger, you asshole. Damn you. Damn you. All right, let's see. What is diode mode on backlight? Normal. All right. I love it when Jessa trolls the trolls. Both phones came from same coastal city flooded. No, this one's from California, and I don't remember about the other one. The other one of them was from something like Ocean, California. Okay, let's punish this board for burning my finger. That's what's happening now. I'm gonna make him, I'm gonna freeze his ass off, little bastard board. Okay, now let's see. Frozen tundra, somewhere around here burnt the shit out of my finger. Whoa. Let's see. Why do we have a big ass cold spot there? Is it back here? I don't know. That's not a real classic spot. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's make sure none of these cables are touching. All right. Huh, look at that. Backlight driver said, fuck you. Fuck you, backlight driver, you asshole. Off with your head. Okay, now it's time to punish backlight driver for being an asshole and burning my finger. All right, let's get rid of him, douchebag. Yeah, you're all corroded as fuck. Actually, I wonder, I've never seen this little cap fail. I wonder if it could be him. I doubt it. Because I'm pretty sure he's on backlight anode line, which was not short. Okay, I'm gonna grab a board holder just so that I can take this off without any trouble and properly punish this board for burning my finger and being an asshole. Pee on it and see the smoke if no ice spray. That is a great plan. Great plan. Not gonna do it, but thanks for the advice. All right, so we're going to go low heat and get rid of the underfill so that we can get this chip off. Nice and easy. All right. Just waking up. Way too early to be walking around. What are you talking about? It's 4:30. 4:30 in the afternoon. Yesterday. 4:30 in the afternoon yesterday. So what's it like in tomorrow's world? Did they figure out why the guy burned up all of Las Vegas and killed a bunch of people? Did they get that figured out by tomorrow? That's just such a... It's just such a terrible testament to the need for human beings to connect with others. You know, people don't just do that without a lot of hurt going on. And feeling like they don't have a voice and feeling out of control. And that's sad, you know, because we live in communities and we're meant to talk to each other and be a social species. And it's really sad to see, you know, just incredible pain and disease go untreated that results in a terrible, terrible tragedy and pain for hundreds of families. All right, let's get off. Oh, sorry about that. Off with your head, backlight driver, for being an asshole. Tried and convicted for burning my finger. And now you will pay the ultimate price. I see Scoop of 3D printed up a screen holder for iPhone so that it will hold the screen in the vertical position without it falling over, allowing you to work and see the screen easily. Yeah, Raoul made a tool like that a while ago. I'm excited to see about iFixit's 3D printing contest. That'll be cool to see what kind of... I had to throw away a little cheapo mop thing that squirts out floor cleaner yesterday because it's made of plastic and the important part broke. I think it would be cool if you could just go to your 3D printer and print up another one real quick. If it was easy enough to do that shit. Wow, look how corroded that is. You damn diode. What up, Gene? Such a tragic event. We had an event like that 20 years ago, the Port Arthur massacre. It's also funny how people forget and time goes on. I got horribly schooled yesterday by my son Sam, who told me that he decided what he wanted to be for Halloween. Sam is going to be Dr. Warren. And I was like, I have no idea who that is. And then he just rolls his eyes and he's like, Bunker Hill? And I'm like, Bunker Hill, that's a battle in Civil War? No, Mom. God, Revolutionary War. I had no idea. And he is, you know, just like all horrified that I don't know this stuff off the top of my head, which, yeah, I don't know. And he went on to tell me about this Dr. Warren apparently saved a bunch of lives by getting a bunch of patriots out of Bunker Hill when there was a pretty big massacre. And that diode pad is burned. Burn to hell. All right. Yeah, okay. So I had no idea. And then I also got schooled by him like maybe 10 minutes later. This kid is 10 years old when he was saying, Mom, do you... We were talking about like the importance of protecting your digital information when you die. You know, what have you done? Have you written down your passcode somewhere? Does somebody have that? And what do you even want done? Do you want your children or your spouse to have access to your emails and things like that or not? Like, have you thought about that? Have you made any plans for your digital footprint when you pass away? And then we were talking about passcodes, and he was saying, Sam is saying, I think my passcode's going to be, and I can't even remember it now, like 21460 or something, 24016. I had no idea. My other son is like, oh, that's a good one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And apparently everyone knows that is Jean Valjean's convict number in Les Mis. What? Who knows this shit? All right, let's go back to the hand camera and see what happens now. So we still have a leak on VCC main, and we are going to see what happens when we prompt this phone to boot. All right, so let's see. Do we get an Apple logo? We do. And does it not boil itself and freak out? So let's see. It is showing a relatively normal boot sequence right now. And let's see if it boots. Can you guys see that Apple logo? Yay, I hear it detected by iTunes. And it looks like it's gonna boot. So let's see. Looks a little hot though. It's up at 1 amp. It should be a little lower than that. Let's see. Can you come to your full lock screen, bro? Yay! All right, let's see. All right, so we're at the lock screen. Let me look up this dude's passcode. He doesn't know. I think these should work. Okay, well, we're not gonna mess with that. All right, so there we go. That one, can you see the beautiful lock screen? There, so that guy, that one is ready to recover. And backlight has been punished for burning my finger. All right, so we are gonna put that one back with his note and move it to ready to recover. And then let's go back to our original board. So sand board is done. And now we're gonna go back to our original board. Just heard about a school shooting. Great, throw it on the pile. Excellent. Grenades would have done worse. Jeez. Well, the shocker about, you know, talking about gun control, that's such a polarizing issue, but for the first time ever, last week, my husband, a United States citizen, bought a gun. And so I said, why'd you do that? And he said he thought it would be fun to, you know, go out in the woods and target practice, and that they had some airsoft stuff and it just kind of wasn't good enough. And so I asked him, so what does it take to legally buy a gun? Like, what kind of stuff did they ask for? And he's like, absolutely nothing. You had to fill out a form, 100% self-reported. I'm like, did it say, have you ever been diagnosed with mental disease? And he said, yeah, just like it asks questions, but it's entirely self-reported. You didn't have to provide any records. Nobody's calling any doctors. It was very straightforward and no problem at all. And that, I think, is not cool. All right, so this is at 0.313. So with the new Tigris, let's see if it has, what kind of behavior does it have? Now, it doesn't have a chestnut on it, so there's no point in checking to see if it will have an image, because it can't have an image with no chestnut. But let's see what it does with DC power. And I have oh shit, wow, that time went fast. I have a conference call in a few minutes, so this is going to wrap up one way or the other here. All right, so let's see, it's hanging out at 0.16, 0.17. I'm gonna pull out USB, and it seems to be kind of doing the same sort of boot loopy thing, which is going from 0.18, and it can't get off that, and then it clicks back over to 0. So this would be boot looping. So that means we can kind of we'd have to go a lot deeper on this phone then. So it would be time to check our PMIC outputs and wonder if the PMIC itself has been compromised. Let's check. from hanging out with a VCC main short and some serious damage. But we've got plenty of good looking VCC main caps around there. All that should be fine. That should be fine. That should be fine. All right, let's just check. Yep, so it's hanging out at that same voltage, and somewhere we still have a leak on VCC main to the tune of 0.05, which is kind of not cool. All right, let's see. Let's go to voltage mode and just sort of measure around a little bit. All right, do we have a stable VCC main voltage? Yes, we do. Now let's check. Do we have a stable 1V8? Oh, I don't remember which one is the 1V8 on this board. Probably you. Are you 1V8? Nope, not you. Oh, I don't want to have to look it up. Let's just check out by the connector. 1V8 always line. Probably you. You're a 0. Why are you a 0, bro? Is it one of the other guys? 0.004 or 5. All right, let's check. Do we have a 1V8 short? Well, let's see. Well, we've got a really ugly looking 1V8 cap. Pretty sure we checked this before. Let's go to diode mode, and we need to wrap this up one way or the other. All right, 0.318 I think is pretty good for 1V8 line, but it was insulted since we see that cap that looks like that. All right, let's see. Really, you can't hurt anyone with an airsoft? Well, apparently they couldn't hurt their paper targets either. Airsoft killed eyes. You need to change your hot air station to quick so you can quickly change between modes. Yes, that is totally true. Do you use freeze spray a lot? I'm not sure how to answer. Do I use freeze spray a lot? I use freeze spray. I think I'm going to take off that backlight driver that I kind of put on in a relatively janky way because both 1V8 and VCC main go under there. So now he has become too much of a liability, even though he did look good under there at the beginning. I think freeze spray it's a fantastic tool, but it's often overused. It's a great tool in your arsenal, but it can often miss things, and it can often lead you the wrong way. It can lead you astray. So I feel like this board is close to being solved. Oh yeah, look at that. Boom. I blobbed it when I put it back on. Not cool. That'll do it. Can't do that. I should have left it off. Should have left it off and given up backlight. Alright. Get rid of all that. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Now, let's ask if it has a different behavior. Alrighty. Shut up, hot air station. And we have to wait for VCC main to come back up. It's kind of low at 0.26. After that heat, we've got to wait. Alright, let's see. Freeze spray offers a higher visual contrast indication at a lower temperature range. Yes, freeze spray will give you an answer right away, but it is a stress on the board. You don't want to be like freeze spraying hot boards. So if you're going to use freeze spray, make sure your board is at room temperature. Freeze spray it, get your answer, and then stop. So don't like pump a bunch of electrons into a phone that is cold and getting hot because it has a short. That can cause problems. And also don't see a chip light up and say, oh, it's got to be that chip. That's not always the case. find out what line is shorted if you can, before you start taking off big chips, especially things that you have to replace. That would be my thoughts on that. Alcohol plus a cigarette works fine. Yes. So alcohol on an iPhone board is tough. You know, you can only, it'll show you very, very hot shorts, and that's about it. All right, let's go back, check our VCC main diode mode reading right now. 0.300. Lower than I'd like it to be, but we are kind of running short on time, so let's just see. Will this board consume a normal current draw? So prompt, 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 and let's see what it does now. So it is a little bit different. Maybe not. It's hanging out at the same like 100 milliamps and then clicking back down to 0. So it's kind of boot loopy. All right, so next I'm gonna stick back on Chestnut and see if it can go to recovery mode and update software. All right, let's see what else is going on here. You can use your fingers too, or your scrotum, which is really, I think, what scrotums were intended for all along. Okay, so on this one, I think I'm out of time today because my conference call is coming up in a few minutes. So that one, maybe I'll pick it back up later if I end up doing another stream on the ridiculous phone, then I might kind of update you guys on whatever this one turns out to be. But for now, I am out of time, so we won't be able to do anything more with this. I think though that it's, you know, has a pretty good chance of being solvable ultimately, but you never know. So it's funny, 2 boards, almost exactly the same initial presentation, same behavioral and DC power supply, and one is in the done pile and one sucked up like an hour at a time. All right, so that is it for today, and I will see you guys next time.